I found out last night at my daughter's birthday party that apparently my husband and my daughter's teacher have been lovers for quite some time. My husband, my daughter, and I lived in California. We were very happy in California. We had all of our family there, and eventually my husband had to move to Texas in order to accept a job that he really wanted. It was a lot more money, and we figured with the rent being so cheap, maybe it's our best bet. So we moved. Now, personally, I wanted to move to a certain area that would still be close to my husband's work, but he decided that he wanted to move to a different area, and he was very adamant that that would be the only area that we could live at. I did not work at the time, so obviously whatever my husband says, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we moved to this specific area, and he wanted our daughter to go to a specific school as well. So we enrolled my daughter, or our daughter, to this specific school. Okay, I thought it was very weird because my husband had to be at work certain times, 8 to 5 every single day, but he would call to work and see if he could take my daughter to school. Mind you, I didn't work. I could have easily taken my daughter, no problem, but he really wanted to do it, so I just said, okay, go for it. And then it was time to schedule my daughter's conferences. My husband kept telling me that he just wanted to take my daughter. He said, you do so much for our daughter, why don't you take a break? I can take her, I don't mind. I'll call in to work so that I can take her because it was around 3 p.m. So again, I said, whatever, go ahead, I'll just wait at home for you. My husband and my daughter did not show up until 3 hours later. Okay, so conferences were at 3, they did not show up until 6. My daughter walks into the door and tells me, Mommy, we went out for dinner. I said, oh, you and your dad went out for dinner after your conferences? And she said, no, actually my teacher went along with us. So I mentioned to my husband exactly what my daughter had said. And he said, no, it was just your daughter and I. Kids, they just come up with a lot of shit, Maybe she's just very confused. So I brushed it off. I said, okay, I'm going to trust my husband. So then we started planning my daughter's birthday. Obviously, it was yesterday. For the entire time that we were actually planning her birthday and we were inviting people, he kept insisting. He basically begged me to invite my daughter's teacher. I asked him why. And all he told me was, well, she's done so much for our daughter. She's in kinder. What life-changing, situation went on that I didn't know? She's basically watching our daughter. She just watches her. Thank you. So whatever. Okay, I invited her. And it was very weird because my husband throughout the night was not next to my daughter. He was not next to me. He was actually outside talking to my daughter's teacher. My mom, my dad, my best friend, they tell me throughout the night, don't you think that's very weird that they're just outside? They're not even, enjoying the birthday party. They're not with your daughter, which is the whole entire reason why we're here. So I went to go talk to my husband and he said, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I'm allowed to talk to her, okay? So we're just going to be outside talking. Whatever. I let that shit go. I went to enjoy the party with my daughter. And not even 30 minutes later, I go back outside because I'm going to tell my husband, look, it's time to cut the cake. Come inside so we can sing happy birthday to your daughter. And when I walk outside, I see my daughter's teacher and my husband making out. Once they see me, my daughter's teacher proceeds to tell my husband, why don't you tell your wife the truth? Why don't you tell her that we have a child together? And why don't you tell her that since you guys lived in California, you and I met online, you came out here while you were supposed to be working or on a work trip, and you got me pregnant. So apparently the teacher and myself, we were both pregnant at the same time. And one of the students that my daughter really liked in this teacher's class was actually her sibling.